Hey everybody, it's JMan105 coming back at you with another hobby related video. And yes, it's been a little bit of time, but I've been busy. But lo and behold, here I am. And this is more of a DIY video. There's a lot of people out there that do hobby wiring and small wiring projects, and they run into issues when they are connecting wires and they don't want it to seem sloppy, but they don't have terminals or anything good to connect the wires with to make it look cleaner. So I'm going to take you over a very simple fix for this kind of a problem, which is the use of shrink wrap. Now, I've recently gone to a home improvement store because I ran out, and I bought a 42-piece lined heat shrink kit. So I'm just going to open it up like this and show you. So there's 6 different sizes of heat shrink tubing here. I know it's hard to see, but I have the stand in the way. So I have anywhere from 3/4 inch heat shrink to 1/8 inch heat shrink, and the many different sizes come in handy depending on the hobby project you're working on. And for today I'm going to be using a 1/4 inch diameter heat shrink. Now, as you can see, I've broken out my trusty soldering stand for this project because I kind of need a third arm that I don't have. So I'm just going to move the camera a bit closer to show you. So in this instance, you've stripped your wire with your wire stripper. You've twisted each wire around before twisting the two ends to each other to complete the circuit, but you've run into a bit of a problem because you really don't want to use electrical tape because it'll be messy, and you don't have connectors or a way to do it. So in this case, you're going to use a piece of heat shrink. So to get this demonstration started, you're going to see my hands for a minute. I'm going to unclip the wire at this end. I have a piece of 1/4 inch heat shrink sitting at the end of this line. I've got the wires twisted well enough but away from each other so they're still conductive, but they will not interfere. And this is a bit of a tight fit, but you kind of want that when you're working with heat shrink. So I'm going to reclip that. And as you can see, it sits directly over all portions of the wire, including your twist connections. And now there's actually only one final step to complete this, and I'm going to move the camera to show you. Ta-da! You're going to use a heat gun. Now, if you don't have a heat gun, you should probably go get one. They're very useful to have, and if you're going to be working with heat shrink, it's the only way to do it. I've heard of some people using a hairdryer on a high setting, but that's going to take forever. I'm going to move the camera so that it focuses down a bit more. So I'm going to take the heat gun and I'm going to put it at the 2nd setting, which is a higher setting, because this will obviously be a bit faster. I'll move the camera back just a bit, and here we go. So it'll take a second for the heat gun to get warmed up. Now, as you can see, the amount of heat that's coming out of that gun on the 2nd setting is more than sufficient. Look at that. You're going to move it over as best you can. Okay, for demonstration purposes, that's more than good enough. I'm going to move the camera in. And look at that. That's all there is to it, folks. The high heat coming from the heat gun, when it's focused at least about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch away from the gun, will melt that heat shrink, and your work is done. You have a connection. It smells like burnt heat shrink and a little bit of wiring, but that's okay. There is a second option where you could wrap a little bit of electrical tape around the connections as an extra buffer, but in this case I wanted to show everybody how it works just with the heat shrink. And just like that, we're done. Now, I'm going to have hopefully another video coming soon to show you some other techniques, but for now, that's our heat shrink. It's that easy. If anybody wants to know, that kit of heat shrink, the 42 pieces, cost me $13 at Princess Auto. It's Power Fist brand. I do use a couple of their products because they're good. I already had some of this lamp wire hanging around to do the test, and the heat gun was brought by my wife when she moved in with me, so it worked out. That is all for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to join the Hobby Lounge on Discord for more hobby-related content. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.